Hi, I'm Emily Ursuliak, and this is my fiance, Ethan Cole, and we're going to be performing a poem from my book, Throwing the Diamond Hitch. It's about my grandmother, Phyllis, or Phyl, and her best friend, Anne, and a trip that they took back in the 50s. And Ethan wrote the music for this poem, and we performed it together back at my book launch at Shelf Life a few years ago. So we thought we'd do it again for you, only in our living room this time. And the poem is called Breaking and Blather. His plump thumbs are paperweights, pinning the map. The heft of his barrel body thrown forward as his index finger charts possible routes. The map is more for Anne and Phil than for him, Mr. Richter, their savior. The rangers sent the cowgirls his way. Every mountain pass Anne and Phil were told of at the last check-in with the rangers. Closed and impassable. One ranger station contradicting the other, a breakdown in communication. And no wonder, says Mr. Richter, those men know little beyond their backyards. For him, every goat track and clear-cut path is a memory woven within a synapse. An ample Bavarian, a mountain guide, he traded Alps for Rockies, his English words still coded with guttural German. He invites the girls for an errand run to Antler Lodge. A load of furniture had been dropped off halfway there, dumped before a bridge that wasn't yet completed. Now, the construction done, the load must reach its destination, a task the women happily assist with as their ponies graze the pasture in Richter's paddock. The three of them, packed in his crew cab truck, bottles of beer brought for the trip jostle in the back. They stop at a colossal outcrop, Mount Swansea, named for one of Anne's kin, she proudly declares. The mountain's face is painted tawny by the last slants of a fading sun. The gravel artery carves higher, dusk clutches the valley below, the truck rolls to a halt. A ranger lookout, dwarfed by distance, perches on a pine ridge across the valley. A fulvous glow haunts its many windows. The valley below rolls out in dark waves, a vast dramatic expanse, muted by the interwoven boughs of spruce trees. The three clink beers to celebrate the view. For the remainder of their journey, Mr. Richter steers in intermittent stretches to the washboards at the roadside. Infamous prattle, tales of the townsfolk, too much distraction in the telling. He shares with them the latest gossip. There's the scandal of that couple, practically kids when they'd married. 2 years in is when it all came clear to the young fella. All those stomach aches after hot lunches packed by his wife. No accident incurred by poor cooking, but her secret ingredient. A teaspoon of ground glass in every cup of stew. Then the night, a next-door neighbor, flashlight in hand, found Mr. So-and-so stealing panties from all the ladies' clotheslines in town. It's a while ago now since he packed up, shamed into leaving town. And that damned cabin crouched on the outskirts, the curtains always drawn, never a soul seen outside to mow that lawn. The jungle looks awful shameful next to other houses. With every tale told, he pulls to the side, slipping the key to kill the ignition for meaty stories. He can't balance, breaking and blather, gear shifts and gossip. Near the summit, headlights flash ahead. A Japanese man waves from his truck's cab, pulls over, pops open his side door. The remaining beer, 4 bottles, reason enough for rambling gab. Their new friend Frankie, a sawmill man, tells tales of the planer mill, the nag of a boss he calls Old Lovely. At 1 a.m., they stop to gather the load left for the lodge. The odd snort and snore erupt around them from the black juts of canvas tents huddled along the road. The bridge to the lodge, freshly finished by these invisible men, present only in grunts of slumber. The load, a few spindle chairs, coffee tables, and a Chesterfield. This new chattel the girls heft to the tailgate. Richter's impressed with the evenness of their breath. All three heave the Chesterfield, but held mid-air, halfway from turf to truck bed, it converts, the mattress leaping out like a jack-in-the-box, bursting free. Richter drops his end, leaps back as it lands with a boom against the truck's box. Anne sucks breath between her teeth and listens for the rustle of grumpy, groggy men. But the whistles of breath wheeze on, unabated, and Phyl and Anne and Richter collapse against the bumper, convulsing in silent laughter. Returning home, and by his request, Phyl's at the wheel, her one slim wrist resting on its rim, the other hand confidently steering. Thanks so much, Shelf Life. Stay safe, everybody.